Support for Donnybrook Last Call is provided in part by Design Air Heating and Cooling.
All right, we're serving them up at Last Call. How's everybody? We're out here in YouTube world. And hey, look, you know, tariffs and times are changing in America, but the good fireworks people who sell them are kind of like having to raise prices and are having trouble getting inventory. To me, this is a good thing because fireworks are just a little bit out of control in people's neighborhoods and people's yards. They got howitzers now. I don't mind a little pop and crack here and there, but man, what's going on now is just out of control. I know everybody at this table agrees with me, right?
Sorry, I know I'm going to get run out of town, and especially my neighbors in South City. Everyone hates fireworks so much because they go off for like 3 straight days.
They're already going off in the county.
The dogs are so upset. The kids can't sleep. I love fireworks, and I know they're dangerous, and I would never, ever play with a firework or allow my children to do so. But when they're going off, it is just the best feeling. 4th of July is my favorite holiday. I am very worried that with these tariffs, my neighbors are going to get a great night's sleep, and I'm going to miss my favorite holiday.
The dogs will not need therapy for the 4th of July holiday. Yeah, it's really hard for me to be very sympathetic to these folks who, you know, this is our whole year, this is our year, and I agree with you. Fireworks are absolutely beautiful. They're spectacular, and they make plenty of 4th of July's perfect for folks. But we do have, as we keep saying, we do have quite a few municipalities, and each municipality has its own thing. So if Ted Drews can adapt to the fact that, okay, in the summertime we have the concretes, and then in the wintertime we do the Christmas trees, you know, you need to diversify, if you will, Mr. Fireworks guy, you know, because he's like, we're going to be destroyed, we're going to be ruined, you know, and I understand that's tough, and I don't mean to be flippant about it, but you have to have an alternate plan.
Well, and this tariff thing, this is not just a temporary problem for Missouri's fireworks industry.
Right.
The state lawmakers have passed some big new restrictions on fireworks. This has always kind of been the capital of crazy fireworks going off everywhere when nobody knows what they're doing. That's over. The state legislature has finally decided that they don't want that anymore. So it's the end of an era.
Well, I'm not in love with fireworks, but I do feel for my dog Harvey because he can't stand them. But I do feel for the business owners, though, because even if, you know, we can't really relate or sympathize with them, that's what a big part of their livelihood is all about. And they've been run around with the tariffs and the shipments coming late. Some of them are saying that it's not coming until after, like July 8th. For the 4th of July. I mean, they're really losing a lot of business.
Well, maybe we'll have Labor Day fireworks.
Maybe Labor Day fireworks.
That'll become a secondary thing.
Yes. Well, you know what? When we had the drought, I think that was 2007. A lot of municipalities couldn't do their big fireworks show, so we did it in downtown Kirkwood, on New Year's Eve. It was like 12 degrees outside, but it was wonderful. It was like beautiful. So we adapted. Right.
Yeah. You won't like to hear this, Alvin, but I think Webster Groves has the best fireworks.
Well, wait, hold it. I go to both. I go to both, and we got them beat. That's all I'm going to say about that. By the way, one quick story on that. One time, my wife bought some fireworks on the way to Oklahoma during the summer. And I guess she used a card, and we got on every reactionary mail list in the world. And I was worried about it, you know, for years, like, oh, what list are we on now? And now we're patriots, we're American heroes. I might get to go to the White House fireworks show. All right, speaking of fireworks, 4th of July is right upon us. And if you go down to see the fireworks and hang out in downtown St. Louis, you're also going to get a drone Superman ad. Come on, are we commercializing the 4th of July? I think this is terrible, horrible. St. Louis guys involved, right, Wendy?
We have ads in public restrooms.
We do.
So I think we passed tacky about 150 miles ago. I don't know that anybody would even blink if they'd even notice that there were ads for Superman at a 4th of July celebration. Everything is sponsored today, and people are getting used to it.
Yeah, and like Superman, 4th of July, like,
Right.
you know, it kind of has that same vibe. But
Right.
man, I mean, the fireworks downtown, that's my fireworks show. And so the idea of like, oh, I'm going to listen to the band. I'm sure it's going to be great. And then I get my 10-minute drone show that's an advertisement for Superman. And then I get my fireworks. I just know the result of this is my kids are going to be like, Mom, you're going to take us to Superman, right? And I hate superhero movies. So I'm personally opposed to this advertisement.
It is an homage to James Gunn, though, St.
Right.
Louis native, so that's pretty cool.
He's a local.
Local.
There you go.
Yeah, all right. Okay, I could do without the advertisements, you know, for Superman or anything else. I mean, you're down there to, like, you know, God bless America.
right?
Yeah. I think we're getting
We could start wearing little patches on our
Oh,
clothes
like
here.
NASCAR. Oh, we could wear jumpsuits and
Shake and
everybody have
shake.
like,
Ted Drewes.
yeah. Oh, that'd be.
Oh my gosh.
And by the way, Ted Drewes would say, Wendy, you know, hey, we have Ted, we still sell concretes in the winter.
Yes, they
yeah,
do. That's
yeah,
true.
those will be the
That's
letters
true.
this week.
I know.
Right, Ted Drewes hater up there.
Poke the Ted Drewes bear.
Okay. All right. Meanwhile, this is another national story. Donald Trump wants no negativity as far as in our national parks. And I guess, how did he list it, or things that aren't unpatriotic? And so I guess, I don't know if that, you know, before the Civil War, what was going on is listed as unpatriotic. And how do you mention what went on at Gettysburg unless you mention that the South was there and had to be, you know, turned back? And, you know, at our own old courthouse, obviously, Dred Scott decision, there's a statue in the front, and then there's a statue in the back honoring those that filed legal lawsuits for their freedom. So in reading what has been said over the last few days, people are very confused about this, and I am too. But, you know, this is about standing up for what is right, and I just hope that enough people don't back down.
Well, we had 7,000 people take to the streets in St. Louis County. It seems like a good thing. I don't know. I mean, if you would think if the federal administration starts coming after historically accurate displays at a place like the old courthouse, that would be something that we could all agree on. Like, we want these to be educational and tell the unvarnished truth about American history. It would be devastating.
Well,
to
I'm
see
just
them
thinking
make
about on
edits.
Juneteenth. Here we are, and outside the Civil Courts building, there is a Freedom Suits Memorial that pays tribute to the hundreds of slaves who fought for their freedom at the old courthouse. Now, I know it's not on the national mall, so maybe it's not subject to the same.
I think it is.
scrutiny.
It's part of federal.
I mean,
that's-
goodness. I mean, that there's something that I was not taught, you know, at Ladue High School. I mean, this is an education for the current generation and our generation. It's hard. It's hard to believe that we cannot.
Well, let me stand up for the president here. I think a parking lot at the old court, you know, we could take that courthouse down, have more parking.
Yes.
There's no need.
Oh, don't.
There's no
Before
need
the
to
letter
remember
writing,
all
before
this.
the letter
Right.
writing campaign starts.
Right.
Right, don't give him any ideas.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Right.
But I mean, seriously, how do we, when it's Dred Scott and when it's a historical, you know, any kind of a location, Little Bighorn, when it tells an accurate, when it gives an accurate depiction of what happened there, and you know, historically maybe we were not always respectful of this particular group of people or that particular. How do you change?
Not all
that?
of history
How do
is
you
happy,
alter that?
you know?
That's
Yeah.
right.
It's
That's right.
Yeah, read George Orwell. You know, I mean,
Yeah, I just can't figure out how you alter
right,
that.
you just rewrite history.
Well, I think that one thing we are acknowledging is you can't. And so this is one where, I mean, what are you going to do? Are you going to close Gettysburg? Are you going to close these places?
Exactly.
This is one of those, you know, this is just one of those things that it's very, very, very important to me. By the time they hashed all this out, I think we would probably be on to the next president. And once again, people have to stand up and they have to fight and they have to, you know, say what they want to do, but also go. All right, that's the most important thing. The 7,000 people that were out, hey, if you got a problem with it, go down to the old courthouse, visit it. Oh, just today at the Soldier Memorial, they're going to start, it's going all summer long in regard to honoring the Tuskegee Airmen, which momentarily were taken off the Department of Defense website, things like that. Just go down and support. Now, I'll leave you before we go. Superman was an illegal alien. He had no papers. He came from another planet. He would be chased out of the United States of America right now. Just think about that as we prepare to celebrate the 4th of July. Thank you for hanging out on Last Call, and thank you for watching us on Donnybrook. We'll see you next week. Thanks again, Jasmine.
Thanks, guys.